All right. We are back here at Song of the Day, coming to you from the Rock Cave. I'm your host, Mark Pierce. It is Tuesday, tasty Tuneage Tuesday. Hope you're all doing well today. Yesterday, a little bit of sticks in the Rock Cave. Hadn't covered them really, except for that one other time. What are we talking about today? Well, today we are talking about someone we haven't talked about yet in the last 2 years plus. We're talking about Alice Cooper today in the Rock Cave. Born Vincent Fernier. He's 74 years old, by the way, from Detroit, if you didn't know that. 55-year career and counting. Got his start, I think, in Phoenix. But he sold over 50 million records. So everyone's familiar, a little bit at least, with him, I would think. What about his music? What do you guys think? Shock rock, horror films, vaudeville, pyrotechnics, guillotines, baby dolls, snakes, reptiles. The stage show is what he's famous for, is that right? Just super weird, right? But did you know that the band was called Alice Cooper first? Formed in 1969. It was the Alice Cooper Band, or just Alice Cooper. And they put out some records, 6 albums actually, before 1973's hugely successful $1 Billion Babies. And they would break up soon after that. And then Alice Cooper, his stage name, he would adopt as his real name. And he went solo as Alice Cooper. See how that works? It would be like if Eddie Van Halen went solo and just called it Van Halen. Okay. But anyway, this music, very influential of so many artists. And I was reading about him and I thought, well, is he really the originator of shock rock? He's probably the one who brought it to the forefront. But I was immediately thought of Crazy World of Arthur Brown in his song Fire. And of course they mention it and say, yeah, when he was a teenager, he saw that Crazy World of Arthur Brown in 1968. And must have been like, that's me, that's what I want to do. So if you haven't seen that video, I did cover that one. It's one of my favorite songs. So, but as far as influence is concerned with all this material, and he's done heavy metal, he's done art rock, glam rock, new wave, but all these bands credit him as being influences from Megadeth. Rob Zombie, of course, who loves horror films, actually makes them. Ozzy Osbourne, I mean, right? Joey Ramone says he wrote his first song after he heard an Alice Cooper record. Anthrax, Sex Pistols, you name it. They all think he's the godfather of shock rock. And they did pretty good along the way, too, right? Basically, the impetus of today was I was reading about what was popular on this date in history and music. And on this date in 1975, Welcome to My Nightmare was the number 9 song in all the land. And that was their first record and only record, I think, for MCA. But again, they were a rock band, and then he went solo. And what started it all, as far as their music is concerned, as far as popularity, is they were signed to Frank Zappa's label, and they were doing their thing on the West Coast for Frank Zappa's label. But then Zappa sold his label for $50,000 to, I think, Warner Brothers. And so they were kind of in this little gray area of, do we have a contract? Don't we? Not really, sort of. And so they said, well, you can put out a single. And so in November of 1970, they put out a single called I'm 18, which went to number 21. It was a hit out of nowhere, just a single. And that's what convinced the record label to be like, yeah, you can make an album for us. And then they were off and going. Of course, later you would have songs such as Only Women Bleed, School's Out. School's Out was the first Alice Cooper song I ever heard, and I must have been in late middle school or something, but every spring we'd play that song when school was ending, right? And of course, much later in Wayne's World, right? He had a great song on there, Feed My Frankenstein, but lots of stuff in between. I never saw him in concert. Anyone ever see this show? For me, this might be a little controversial, but I think that all that stage presence, all that stuff was kind of a distraction to the music itself. It was hard to concentrate on what he was putting out for music, but when you heard it on the radio, there was some really good stuff out there. But what are we doing for Song of the Day? We're at almost 6 minutes, and we're going back to that single. We're going back to I'm 18. The first time I heard I'm 18, I was out of college, and I was like, this is really good. And that song, I just love this song, I'm 18. And if you don't know it, you're checking it out today. But I love his raspy voice. I love the way he changes tempo with the lyrics. And it's pretty cool. There's actually a version of them singing it 2 years later, 1972, on I think it's a German show, Beat Club, where he's in a Wonder Woman t-shirt and a bottle of whiskey sitting on the stage singing this song. So we'll try to find that and post that below. But Alice Cooper gets his due here in the Rock Cave with I'm 18. Do you guys know this song? Play it a few times. I think I love the drums. I love everything about this song. So your song of the day today, Vincent Furnier. Alice Cooper is going to be 75 next year with I'm 18. So whatever you're doing today, I hope it involves music, but you're listening to that first. Have a good one. And as usual, I'll catch you on the flip side.